Hey guys, how you going? Gonna talk to you around not goal setting. Everyone knows goal setting. I'm not going to lecture you about SMART goals. Everyone here is well versed in how to do goal setting, the process behind it, how to keep it on track. If you don't know about SMART goals, go look it up. It gives you all the framework you need for goal setting. What I want to talk about is why it fails. Without doubt, because if you're unguided, if you don't know where you're going to hit every rock on the way down. You're reacting to whatever is going on. I've felt it before. I've been in tracks where I'm going, hitting every rock and going, why me, why me, why me? I'm working really hard here without some sort of, I'm going here and this is what it looks like and this is the reason why. Without that, you got nothing. So we've got to lay the foundations. Once you land, I would say to you, you really need to think about what really means a lot to you. Not what everybody else thinks you should do or what society thinks you should do, but what do you want to do? What does it look like for you? Then you've obviously got to plan it out. You've got to have it where you're going to be doing things. Where's your measurement? Where's your accountability? How are you going to support it? How important it is to you? Do you need to learn anything in relation to it? And what are the steps you've got to do to make it happen? And what's the reward at the end? Like, what do you get at the end? Is the actual thing itself the reward, or how are you going to manage yourself through the process? I think that one of the hardest things, and I just want to talk about a couple of things in this whole process, not the whole thing. First is the creation. I think people in general have an idea of what they would like, but nothing gets out of first gear. And you've got to be able to make it clear. You've got to be crystal on it. You've got to know exactly what you want. You may not know the how just yet, but you've got to know what you want, because if you don't know what you want, then you are literally flying blind. People do goals and those sort of things, but they don't truly crystallize and understand their purpose or their why around it, or what is truly imaginable. They get stuck in the how and where they're at now and how they're going to get there, and that then tears it all apart. So I feel like that first part is the creative part, getting it out of your head and dictating and saying, this is what I want, and I want it by this time. Now, the how and all that sort of stuff can be worked out, and that's obviously a part of taking steps towards it. So that's the first big challenge, is that most people either have it in their head or haven't clarified it, or generally going along the path but without really stamping and declaring and clarifying exactly what it is. I know it from myself. I've been unguided before. I can tell totally that my entire life around that time is messy as fuck. It's like you're sailing and then you're letting the rudder just take you wherever you want. And so it's just going all over the place. So life looks messy. I look messy. I find that I'm never thriving in that environment. I'm just coping. So one of the things that I feel need to really do is to really clarify what it is and why. The reason why I'm saying that is I'm coming from a perspective from a traditional kind of upbringing where I've got to have a house, you've got to have a family. It's a tick box kind of mentality towards getting to 65. You retire at 65 and then it's a slow downhill to death. Go to retirement home and then that's it. And I look at my life since that and how it's interweaved and changed now, and how it's less about possessions and more about experiences for me. Totally about how can I juice out massively this life. Like, we're here only for a short time. I've got a very close friend of mine that has announced and told me just on Friday that she's got a brain tumor. Like, she's got a beautiful family and out of the blue, brain tumor. We don't have time to fuck around. You know, that really set me back and made me think, am I on a good path now? Do I know where I'm going? Do I know what I want? Have I clarified it? And I can confidently say, yes, I know. So that's the first thing. Clarify, really think about it, get outside the bounds. Now that might be uncluttering your life, not adding shit to your life. Don't always think, I need a Ferrari, I need a house, I need a private jet, I need all these things. They don't make you happier. That they're nice things, okay, but the happiness doesn't come from that. It could be actually freeing yourself of debt, freeing yourself of shit, and actually moving into a space of how can I give more? That would be a much bigger impact, potentially. Second thing though, is I want to call out, and this word is, I would say, probably without doubt, the most important word in terms of getting some level of what we would call success or achievement. I'm about to say a word that I feel is the absolute epitome of achievement, of success. But this one that's missing from most people's So the word starts with C, and it's not a bad word, it's a positive word. The word is consistency. And I know it's a boring word, but I've been in the performance arena for the last 3 decades, and I reckon it's the thing that is missing from the people who don't hit top tier success, because consistency is the thing that is the first thing which drops out, and then the position is not recoverable. So I'm not saying that there's not 30, 40, 50 other words like discipline and effectiveness, mastering skill sets. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff which we could draw into the play, but I just wanted to highlight the word consistency. I coach lots of teams, and it's the one thing that I find in the middle to the bottom of any sales team is the lack of consistency. So I can give you a great example in my sales teams at the moment. The people who stop doing role play and drill and practice, their performance starts dropping. And that's a basic daily requirement to do role playing, drill and practice on our AI bots and things like that in order to keep peak performance. And when you become inconsistent and when you stop doing it, then performance starts to slide. It's one example, but I find it in so many different areas of life. If you're going to want to be wealthy, then you need to do things around money and be consistent around that act in order to have focus and follow through. And if you drop stuff away, if you don't look at it anymore, guaranteed it's not going to win. So when we're talking about achieving things, when we're talking about things like goal setting and getting your life to a position where you feel contentment, happiness, joy, fulfillment, all these kind of things, I want you to really consider the first 2 things which we've talked about today. First one is the creation. What is it? Have you really given it some considered thought as to what you truly want? Not what everyone else thinks you should have or what you've been stereotyped to believe. What would make you truly happy? And then to crystallize that and to really think about what it is and to imagine yourself in that life and to be super pumped and excited about bringing that to life. If you're not excited about it, then how can anybody else, or how can you magnify and make it happen? You can't. And the second thing is, when you plan it out, how can you make sure that you can be consistent in your efforts to achieve it in those steps? Consistency is absolutely key for people to achieve what they want to achieve and to achieve some level of performance. So there you go. Once again, a little bit of a talk into a couple of key points in achievement. So I'll leave you with that. Feel free to comment.